Hello, in this video I'll talk about choosing an ERP system. This is Hassan Mir from 02protraining.com. ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. It's a type of software that manages information needs of the whole enterprise. So why would a company implement an ERP software like SAP or e-business suite? Objectives behind implementing an ERP system include enabling faster and better decisions among the staff of the company as well as the management, and also to make the core business more efficient. Company can focus more on the core business rather than spending a lot of resources on maintaining and managing the databases. ERP software can take care of the information management, and the company can focus on the core business, and also to reduce the cost across organization. Now each department is not maintaining their own IT staff and their own databases. Information is centrally stored in the ERP system, and each department is using few modules of that software, but duplication is not there. By duplication I mean information about one entity is only stored at one place centrally in ERP system. Each department is not maintaining their own little databases and hence creating duplications across organization. ERP systems that are available in the market could be categorized as enterprise grade packages, mid-market solutions, and small business packages. Enterprise grade packages offer the most number of functions, and small business packages offer least number of functions, and mid-market solutions fall somewhere in between. This is the division in terms of the functionality offered by the ERP software. Now let's talk about the division in terms of specializations. ERP packages could be divided into two groups: generic packages and specialized packages. Now generic packages are designed for almost all kind of companies, and they will meet your needs for most of the functionality, but if you have some unique business needs and functionality, then the gaps will remain. Specialized packages are specifically designed for a particular industry or for a particular region. If your company is not falling in that industry or region, then you may not benefit from these specialized packages. Now most of the enterprise grade packages like SAP and Oracle e-business suite, etc., are generic packages offering most functionality and heavily customizable. You can tweak them in a different way to make them work for your requirements, but if you have unique requirements, there would still be some gaps remaining, and then you have to look towards small business packages, and in this category you can find some specialized solutions designed specifically for your industry. Now you understand different categories of ERP software in terms of functionality and in terms of specialization. When selecting an ERP software for your company, you must make a list of functionality that is required by your company now, not in future, and you need to compare that list with the functionality offered by the ERP software. You must make sure all important requirements must be addressed by that ERP software, and also keep in mind you don't need to pay for those functions that are offered by this vendor that your company is not going to be using. While you're doing this gap analysis process, finding out the gaps between the functionality that is required by your company and the functionality offered by the ERP software that you're interested in, you can take help from external consultants or from external consulting companies. However, you have to make sure that the company or consultant that you're hiring are very objective and they're experienced. The main benefit that you will achieve by hiring external consultant or consulting company is that you will get unbiased objective opinion about that ERP vendor that you're interested in. An important point to note is that the business evolves with time, and the functionality that is required by your business now will change in future. If you need one module today, you may need two modules in near future, and you may need three modules maybe in long term. And most of the time you have an idea in which direction your business is heading, and you can do the planning now to save a lot of re-implementation cost in future. ERP software is a long-term investment. It's not like a software on your desktop that you can delete and reinstall a new one. It is a very heavy implementation that touches almost all the departments of your company, and it's very costly to rip one ERP installation apart and replace it with a new one. So you need to plan for the future as well. Most ERP software are modular. They offer multiple small applications that work together, and each application is called modules, and then group of related applications are called suites, and so on. You can implement few modules. You don't have to implement all the modules in an ERP software, so that's why they are called modular, and each module talks to the other modules, so they are modular yet integrated. Now, having said that, for example, the modules you require now are financials module and human resources module. Financial modules are used by your finance department. It manages your payables, your receivables, your general ledger system, and so on. Human resources modules are used by your human resource department to manage employees. Let's say in future you will be required to use an integrated project management solution. So why not consider an ERP vendor now that offers integrated project management rather than doing a re-implementation down the line? Another example would be, let's say, if customer relationship management, also known as CRM, is something that you will be considering in next 5 years, then why not consider an ERP vendor now that offers an integrated CRM solution as well? So point number 3 that you need to consider while choosing an ERP system is to put your future needs on the table as well. So compare the functionality that would be required by your company in future, in near future, with the functionality offered by the ERP system. As discussed earlier, most ERP software are modular, and they offer numerous modules, and not all the modules are required by your company, and in most cases maybe less than 30% of the modules are needed. So you should only license the modules that are required by your company now, and as your need increases in future, you can add more and more modules with the existing implementation. Another important decision that you have to make while going through the ERP selection process is whether you want to deploy your ERP system on the servers within your premises, or whether you want to deploy it on the cloud, meaning the software is hosted by some vendor and you are accessing it through your computers, most likely through the browsers, and you're paying that vendor on the basis of the usage. Keep in mind that ERP industry has been very slow to adopt to the cloud model, especially the enterprise grade packages like SAP and Oracle e-business suite. However, the upstarts, which are mostly following into small business packages, are very cloud friendly from the beginning. So if cloud is important for you, then keep that in mind. There are cost and benefits on both sides. In the cloud model, your cost is low because you're paying on usage basis. You're not investing in heavy duty servers and the whole ERP stuff, and it's very easy deployment. You don't have to install the software, it's done for you, and very quicker implementation. While you will get some benefits using on-premise model, you will get greater security and greater control over data. Data is in your hand, and in the cloud model, your data is residing on somebody else's machines. While choosing the ERP software, you must verify the vendor's strength that you're interested in, and you need to look into the finances and number of customers. Make sure that the company is not going to be disappeared from the face of the earth. Finances have to be healthy, and company must have good number of customers already. Otherwise, the functionality they're offering is not really tested, and you must be willing to take that risk. If you see any red flags, then you need to do more investigation. Another important point that is usually missed is that with the passage of time, not only your company will require more functionality, we have already addressed that part, your company will be dealing with more data, and we need something that is scalable. If you do 100 transactions in one day, will your ERP system support 1000 transactions in one day? You need to look into that as well. Of course, your company will hire more staff down the line, but what you need to look into right now is, will ERP software that you are interested in be able to support this growth in terms of number of users that will be using the system, in terms of the volume of data, and in terms of the transactions per day that you will be processing. While choosing your ERP software, you must also look into the infrastructure that will be required to run that software. If you are going with a cloud model, then this ERP system will be hosted on computers elsewhere, and you will be using your browsers to accessing that ERP system. You need to make sure you have enough network bandwidth so that your X number of users can connect to that ERP system at once and use it without any lags. If you're planning to install this ERP system on the servers within the premises, then you need to have those servers available. Either if you do not have those servers now, you need to buy them, and you need to have a support staff to support the whole infrastructure. If you do not have extra staff, you need to arrange for that. While choosing an ERP system, you must calculate total cost of ownership. That includes your licensing fees or monthly subscription in case of the cloud model. Then you need to pay for the implementation, which means configuration of the system so that it could work according to your business requirements. You need to pay to the consultants or your employees to perform the implementation. Now, not all the functionality that is required by your company is offered by the ERP software. Gaps are there, and those gaps are filled by customizations. You hire programmers and they create custom applications that will offer the functionality that was missing in the ERP system. Then you incur management services cost. You pay to the management to manage the ERP projects. You train your staff to use a new system. You incur training cost. Either you will hire a third party to perform the training, or the same implementation team will perform the training. Then you need to take care of the additional infrastructure that is required. In case of cloud, you need additional bandwidth. In case of on-premise model, you may need additional servers. Then you may need additional staff to manage the new hardware in case of on-premise, and you need additional staff anyways to provide support to the users, either cloud or on-premise model. Total cost of ownership is also referred to as TCO. You must calculate the TCO for all the vendors that you're considering and compare that cost with the cost you're incurring now using the current system, if you're using any system now. Before committing to any vendor, you must not only go through online demonstrations that are mostly available, but also invite the vendor to come to your premises and provide on-site demonstration. This is where you have to involve your staff to evaluate the usability. Online demonstrations are not enough. You have to see the system live. Only then you can get comfortable with that software, and only then you should commit to that vendor.